Hey guys, this is the first video about this tool that's called Ahrefs.com or Ahrefs. This tool is just about links and it does more than just the links, but this is kind of like the tool when we do SEO that we apply for analyzing the link profile, the type of links, and so on and so on. So everything that needs to be analyzed when it comes to links, then it's Ahrefs.com. So this is the dashboard, and there's so many different things up here. But oh, you know what? Before we get into it, I'm just gonna copy this URL right here. We're gonna do an analysis of the Danish site, and we're gonna focus on this menu right here, Site Explorer. And I'm gonna paste in the URL, and then I'm gonna click Explore. And then we get a lot of different data concerning this URL that we typed in here or here. The most important issue that we are focusing on is this right here, the domain rating. The domain rating is a grade, and it goes from 0 to 100. And the upper part is kind of theoretical. If you take google.com, it's only 93, so it's really difficult to get a perfect score here. This is more just to say that when you have a degree saying 53, that is actually a pretty sweet grade. The links we want to have linked to our page is primarily, it has to be at least 40 when it comes to domain rating, or it could be lower as long as the content on that particular site or blog is relevant to the content on our page. Meaning that if we find a blog about watches where we can get a link to our page about watches, it doesn't really matter that the domain rating is just 20 something, because we're gonna get a link where the content of that particular page is the same as the content on our page. And then another thing is this right here, the referring domains. And as you might be able to tell, this is the amount of different sites that are pointing to our site. These 572 sites are pointing to our site with 16,100 fingers. And it's kind of like you're not gonna get more popular if you make the entire class point to you with all their fingers. You just need one of those fingers from each person to point at you and say you're a nice guy or girl or whatever, in order to kind of like get that power from that notion. So in this case, this really doesn't matter, this backlink part right here. It's all about the referring domains. And if we scroll down, we can decipher even more about the links that are pointing to our page. Of all the 572 links pointing to a page, we can tell that 431 are do follow links. One link is from a .gov, meaning a governmental institution. We got 4 links from universities or education sites, and then we got some links from .com, .net, and .org. And then I want you to focus on this right here, because up here I told you that 572 people are pointing to you. And if we just have this football analogy in the back of our head, 521 different players are pointing to you and saying, you're the best football player. But the thing is, a lot of them are playing on the same team. And it's kind of like if you're playing on the same team, it's not as powerful as if you were or the persons were playing on different teams. And that's basically what this tells you. These IPs is kind of like the domain names, but some of them are hosted the same places or on the same servers, and that's not quite as effective as if we have unique servers pointing at our site. This used to be the most important factor a year ago. It's still important, but not as important as it used to be. If we scroll just a little bit further down, we can tell that 97% of our links are do follow links and 3% are no follow links. Most of our links come from text, and there are, however, some links from images though. So this really doesn't make sense because this image right here and text should be the same, or should have a combined score of 100%. So it's a little bit off. I don't know why, but that's a pretty good point, because this tool right here isn't 100% valid, but it's still the most valid tool we've got to work with when it comes to links.